Hello, children. Hope you all had a good weekend. So, today we continue with the third section of the chapter, January Night. In the previous section, we saw the vivid description, the vivid description of the cold winter night or January night given by the author and the intense or intimate relationship shared by Halku and his dog, Jabra. And we see the dog loved his master so much that he accompanied him to the field to protect the crops from the wild animals. And even though the dog was told to stay indoors by his master, he preferred being with his master just like a faithful dog. So we see Jabra, he loved his master unconditionally. And Halku, he too reciprocated the same love and affection to his dog. Remember when he hugged his dog tightly, he did not bother about the bad odor or the bad stink that was given by the dog. So we continue with the third section of the story given on page 29. Please keep your pencils ready, girls. Another hour passed. The night fanned up the cold with the wind. Halku sat up. It seemed as though ice rather than blood filled his veins. Please underline the phrase fanned up. Fanned up here refers to increased. So one more hour has passed and the blowing of the wind, it has made the night colder. And as the night progressed, it became extremely cold and it seemed as though ice rather than blood filled Halku's veins. He leaned back to look at the skies. How much of the night was still left? So Halku was very eager to find out how much night was still left. So what he does, he lays back and he looks at the skies. The dipper had not yet climbed half the sky. By the time it was overhead, it would probably be morning. Night would last another 3 hours or so. Now here you see, girls, in the olden times, when clock was yet to be invented, how the people measured time. The people measured time by looking at the stars, by looking at the rising and the setting sun, or by looking at the position of the moon. And here in this story we see Halku, who's a poor farmer. He could not afford a watch for himself. So how did he measure time? Halku measured time by looking at the dipper. Now dipper, it's a name of a constellation. The other name for this dipper is Great Bear. Now what's a constellation? Constellation is a group of stars. So what Halku did? He looked at the dipper which had not yet climbed half the sky, and Halku very well knew that by the time this dipper was overhead, it would probably be morning and night would last another 3 hours or so. Now close to Halku's field there was a mango grove. Halku thought, if I go and get a pile of leaves, I can make a fire of them and keep warm. If anybody sees me gathering the leaves in the dead of night, they'll think it's a ghost. Of course, there's a chance some animal's hidden in my field waiting, but I can't stand sitting here any longer. You can underline the word grove. Grove is a small group of trees. Pile means heap. The phrase dead of night, it means middle. So we see here just next to Halku's field there was a mango grove. And that point of time Halku thought to himself that what if I go and collect a pile of leaves, I can make a nice fire out of them and I can keep myself and Jabra warm. And in case if anyone happens to see us, they'll think that it's a ghost. Of course, there's a chance some animals hidden in my field waiting, but I can't bear sitting here any longer. So what he does? He ripped up some stalks from a nearby field, made a broom out of them, and picking up a lighted cow dung cake, went towards the grove. Jabra watched him coming and ran to him, wagging his tail. Underline the phrase ripped up. It means removed roughly. Then stalk means stems. So Halku, he removes roughly some stems from the nearby field. he ties them together, makes it into a broom. Then he picks up lighted cow dung cake and he goes towards the groove. And Jabra, when he sees him coming towards him, he runs to him wagging his tail. Halku said, I couldn't stand it any more, Jabra. Come along. Let's go into the orchard and gather leaves to warm up with. When we are toasted, we'll come back and sleep. Now, orchard means fruit garden. Toasted means warm enough. Halku tells his friend, that is Jabra, that you see, I couldn't stand it any more, Jabra. So come along, we'll go to the fruit garden, we'll collect some leaves and we'll warm us up. And when we are warm enough, we'll come back and sleep. Now, under the trees, it was pitch dark. The bitter wind blew, buffeting the leaves, and drops of dew dripped from the branches. So as you all know, children, it was a moonless night, so it was pitch dark. Pitch dark here refers to extremely dark. Okay, it was extremely dark, and the bitter wind means cold wind, blew, buffeting, striking the leaves, and drops of dew fell drop by drop from the branches. Jabra had found a bone and he was chewing on it. Halku set his fire down on the ground and began to gather the leaves. So just turn back the page. As you can see in this picture, see, you can see in your books, it's a mango grove, and you can see Jabra. He's managed to find a bone and he's chewing nicely on the bone, whereas Halku, we can see how he's stooping down and he's collecting the leaves to make a fire out of it. In a little while, he had a great heap. His hands were frozen, his bare feet numb. So in a little while, he manages to collect a great heap, and we see that his hands were frozen due to extreme cold, and he did not have any footwear. So his feet had turned numb. But he piled up a regular mountain of the leaves, and by making a fire out of them, he'd burned away the cold. Burned away the cold means he could beat the cold easily. In a little while the fire was burning branches, in the flickering light, the immense trees of the grove looked as though they were carrying the vast darkness on their heads. So we see in a little while the fire was burning the branches, so it was nice warm fire. And in the flickering, you can underline the word flickering. Flickering means burning unsteadily or wavering. Immense means huge. Now, why was that fire flickering? Because the wind was blowing. So in the flickering light, the huge trees of the grove, they looked as though they were carrying the entire darkness on their heads. Halku sat before the fire and let it warm him. So now finally Halku managed to warm himself, and he was very, very happy about it. And after a while, what he did? After a while, he took off his shawl. So when he was warm enough, when he was toasted enough, he removed his shawl. And then he spread out both his feet as though challenging the cold to do its worst. Victorious over the immense power of the winter. So now he was not feeling cold anymore. He was warm enough. He was toasted enough. He could not repress his pride in his triumphs. So finally, we see that he has managed to conquer the bitter cold. He said to Jabra, "Well, Jabra, you are not cold now, are you?" Jabra barked as though to say, "How could I feel cold now?" So finally, both of them, okay, that is Halku and Jabra, they were very, very happy. They were warm enough. And in his happiness, Halku could not hide or repress his happiness. And he tells Jabra, "Well, Jabra, you're not cold now, are you?" And Jabra, in reply, what he does, he barks as though he means to say that, "How could I feel cold now?" So at the end of the third section of the story, we see how Halku has managed to conquer the cold, and both of them are toasted up now. So the fourth section of the story, girls, we are going to study tomorrow. Kindly go through the third section of the story again and see that you have followed everything. Good day.